moving on, another story that we had this week. Back in April, a nun was arriving to the school that she teaches at, Buffalo Academy of the Sacred Heart. That's in Amherst. It was 9 o'clock in the morning. 2 people came, pushed her to the ground, stole her car keys, stole her car. I don't think back in April we knew it was a nun. We might have, but we're now finding out it's a nun, and we're now finding out that a little more about the 2 people that were arrested this week in connection with that.
Yeah, this is just the latest example of people just not caring about other people, to go and do something like that. I would like to know, and I don't know if anyone's asked this question. This isn't a story, that I've been following personally, reporting wise in the newsroom, but I would like to know if the nun was dressed in, in the nun garb, if you will. Did they know when they did this that it was a nun? Nothing excuses this kind of thing. Absolutely not. But I do think that, in a court of law, that's going to make a difference, whether or not they knew. Does that make sense?
Yes. It's 2 young teenagers that were caught doing this.
Right.
So I think, I have a daughter. She's about to be 20. And when she was a teenager, you say, when you're an adult, you'll understand one day why things cost what they do, why I'm so stressed. So I think these teenagers just don't have, it's this, we talked to Erie County DEA, Michael Kane, and he said this is a growing trend. It's like a popular trend among teens. Let's steal the car.
Stealing cars, not attacking nuns.
Correct.
Right. Okay. We got had to clarify that.
So, I think in their head, it's like, well, this fun trend, who cares? They'll find their car later when we ditch it on the side of the road. But they don't understand the emotional stress, the anxiety it's causing. Obviously, the nun sustained minor injuries, but still, that you're hurting somebody. So I think, hopefully, when they get older, they'll look back at this and realize, how serious this actually was.
Yeah, someone's trying to live their life. Yeah, we don't know where she was headed. She could have been headed to a doctor's appointment. She could have been going to visit someone in the hospital. You don't know. And here, some 2 kids come and allegedly push her to the ground, injure her, and then take off with their vehicle. That's wrong. It's so wrong. And to hear that this is a trend where people think that they can just go out and steal people's cars and in the process injure them, that's not right, and the fact that it's happening, and we have to sit here and talk about something like this is just, it's like, well, what is this world coming to? And hey, we're in the news business. We hear about some awful things every single day. But I got to tell you, Angela, I don't get numb to it. And then there's certain people who will say in this business, in this industry, you report on this awful news day in and day out, and you kind of get numb to it. I'm telling you, when that story's up and the commercial break's going, I'm shaking my head at some of the things I got to say. This story included. It's like, what is wrong with you to attack a nun like that? Come on now.
I just hope that these kids, young teens, and like I said, I had one, so I know where their mind is not fully developed, but I hope that they're, getting the discipline that's going to actually help them change for the future, and this isn't a continuing, personality or character trait of these kids.
Right, because one is correct me if I'm wrong, one is going to family court and the other is going to youth court.
I believe so.
Right. Yeah. So whatever their discipline is with with the court system, put that aside. That's got to follow through at home too. Moving forward here, or when do you learn your lesson from something like that?
Yeah.
And to be committing a crime like that at such a young age is concerning.